guys, guess what? I just hit 250 subscribers! Anyways, let's celebrate by doing a commentary on Nihilistic Snake. Shit. Well, what's the video uncovering? A response to Jar. Talking about the problems with the Neo-CC. Great. Just fan-fucking-tastic. Well, I'm not lying. Jar made a video talking about all the problems he has with the current commentary community, to which Snake made a response video to it, basically missing the everything. Also, before I get into the video, throughout the whole thing he has this still image of what I assume is Big Boss on the screen, and to avoid pointing my audience as much as possible, I recreated his video with the avatar being that crazy redhead feminazi. By the way, thank you Dylan for not only recommending me this avatar, but for providing me most of the vectors I used for it. Now, my avatar for this video, as voted for you guys, is... well,
First point, this is regarding the name Neo-CC. Well, first you actually call us cucks, which I don't understand. Typically that word is used against male feminists, which is ironic since most of the community is anti-feminist. Only like 3 of us are feminists, so you come up with a better label. On to your actual Neo-CC bullshit. Shouldn't that be the name for the alt-CC? The prefix Neo means new, and the CC is not new at all. I think you got this whole thing backwards, bud.
While on the surface that would be true, here's the thing. The term Neo-CC is supposed to mean that because of the commentary community of today has changed so much from the commentary community of, say, 2010, they call us the modern commentary community, while they call themselves the alternative commentary community, since at least a good chunk of their members want to go back to the era of commentating long since forgotten.
Second point. You bring up commentators changing avatars between videos, and sometimes during videos. This point is completely moot since you fail to provide any examples, which hilariously enough is something you profess is the reason you have so many fans.
Look, while I will admit that he could showcase some examples for his point, why would this be moot by default? I mean, you're talking to someone who not only has his own OC for an avatar, but also has like 4 other avatars under his belt, not counting the one I'm currently using now, and several others I plan for the future. Not only that, but Doodletones is the perfect idea as someone who switches avatars within their videos, as evidenced by something like, say, her video on that whiny kid talking about Teen Titans Go.
Anyway, some of us have avatar changes because some of us change avatars between videos to try new ones out. I mean, I myself switch avatars for different types of videos. I use Lara Croft as my standard avatar, Paige for whenever I feel like being different, Tracer for feminism videos, Lady Maria for SAC commentaries, Quiet for burst fire commentaries, and Eva for 1-shots and 2-shots.
Good for you! This debunks nothing. Jar's complaint was...
most of them use an avatar from an anime, cartoon, or video game, and they usually change their avatar a lot, like every video. In fact, sometimes they change their avatar during the video.
Non-existent. Jar didn't even complain about avatar changes, he just sort of implies that he finds the changes in the avatars to be annoying, to which I want to bring up something that Dylan told me. He finds the constant avatar change to be irritating, and that an OC would allow us to stand out among the rest of the YouTube crowd. Beyond that, all you're doing is using your reasons for an avatar changes and acting like that means anything, when really it does fuck all against his point, and for your video.
Granted, people like Susie and Blaze of Arcana take this a bit too far, but there's nothing really worth complaining about here on the surface.
Remember earlier when you said his point was moot? Yeah, absolutely relevant! You know about the worst of the avatar changers, and yet you choose to act like this is a moot point. Granted, it's more of a nitpick than anything else if, you know, Jar made some form of complaint, instead of implying that he finds the avatar changes to be an annoyance. Can you please focus on actual points and not just homing in on implications? Please and thank you.
Third point. You say we go after topics we know nothing about, and give an example of MDXLR doing a bad 1-shot on someone. This doesn't work because no one's perfect, and we're bound to make a bad video at some point. Just arbitrarily bringing up one failed video can't represent all videos branching out of typical niches. Hell, my niche is feminism, and I'm still figuring out how to gain ground on those videos.
He was using Dove's video as a representation of the commentary community's tendency to not really know what they're talking about. Need I also remind you, Doodle, how she's not that great with Pokemon videos? Beyond that, can't you, using yourself as an example of how commentators in the community tend to fuck up on certain topics, add to his overall point? While I won't deny that we all have our bad days, this statement doesn't counter anything at all.
Fourth point. You complain about one-shot commentaries. Now, here's the thing. One-shot commentaries don't have the best reputation with us anymore. People still make them, sure, they have the right to, but no one really promotes them anymore. They started popping up when YouTube comments had a character limit. But to go on a bit further, leaving a comment has the risk of that comment being buried under thousands of other comments and never being seen. That's why making a video is a better option. It's easier to find, and you can explain yourself better.
But couldn't the same be said for one-shots? Like, those videos are just gonna be blurred in with reaction videos and Vine compilations, never to be seen by the intended person. I mean, sure, you could message the person on social media in hopes that they'll take the time to watch your video, but do you really think they'll sit down and watch that? While sure, one-shots have the benefit of showing evidence in their videos, you could also thank the ability to put links in the comments for that as well.
Fifth point. Nitpicks. This is kind of hard to approach. My first problem is your example. You bring up TP's video on Morgan, where he points out Morgan's poor sound editing. Now, I usually let nitpicks slide if they have a point, which TP did. Besides, he's a commentator known for having high standards for editing, so that's not really something I've heard of from him. It doesn't matter if the problem is small. If it gets to a point where you had to mention it, it's a problem that should be fixed, like all flaws.
But you're not Jar. Sure, nitpicks can be correct, but they're still just tiny problems that don't really mean much. And yeah, nitpicks aren't that bad as long as they're alongside a larger point, but one could say that TP's video is nothing more than a dissection of Morgan's intro skit, which presents itself as an overabundance of presentational nitpicks.
Sixth point. Commentary material playlists, aka the beginning of his rant on me. So for some odd reason, you use my commentary material playlist as a reason why you hate all of them. Your main problem is that my playlist is full of anti-SJW videos. Not that you liked any of the videos in the playlist, but the sheer fact that they're in there. You don't even say anything like, have some originality. It just makes you look ass hurt.
Well, here's the thing. Jar considers himself an anti-SJW, or someone who sees the social justice logic as irrational and at the end of the day just being worthless, as modern-day feminism has shown itself to be, what's a nice way to put it? Cancer. Also, since you're not going to be covering any actual reasons behind this, I'll just go ahead and explain the problems Jar might have with the commentary material playlist. See, there are plenty of commentators who rely on playlists to find material for them, and they usually turn to doodle tones and or Skion for said material. This could lead into the homogenization, or the process of making things uniform or similar, of the community itself. As you might have guessed, it's a worthwhile concern to bring up. Why doesn't Jar bring this up in his original video? I don't fucking know. It wouldn't mean a lot to his point to point that out, but whatever. Now, do I agree with what they said about the material playlists? Well, I do see the concern behind them. I don't think commentary material playlists are a bad thing, or at the very least, they don't have to be. However, I'm already starting to digress on the topic. Let's get back onto your video.
Seventh point, the rest of your rant on me. And yes, this is still the worst part. You point out that barely any commentaries of mine are anti-feminist. You conclude that because of the TP incident from a year ago, that I don't have the balls to commentate on anti-JWs because they would respond to me. You think that I just want others to take all the hate in my place, and proceed to hammer in the point that I'm pathetic. Okay, let me explain something to you right here, right now. If I had all the time in the world to commentate on the videos in that playlist, I definitely would. It's that bullshit reason you concoct that I don't want to get any hate, yo. And I love how you don't consider that I want someone else to give their own perspective on this video better than I ever could. Now wait, you wouldn't do that. If you did, you wouldn't be able to make me look worse than I actually am. You know who's pathetic, Jar? You. You're a liar and a petty hypocrite, always changing the stories to suit the listener. You're not the silent minority, and you're definitely not something special or unique. Think hard. You have considerably more subscribers than I do, and here you are trying to beat down someone with a smaller channel. You must feel so good about yourself.
Ooh, I think I found a salt mine. Seriously, this is actually kind of funny considering Dirkbike Redden actually admitted to altering Jar's video so that he had something to argue against. Also, what triggered this? Like, at no point in the video, neither in this one nor in the Jar's original video, did he change things up or retold the story to suit him. In other words, you're basically pulling shit out of your ass.
Eighth point. This is regarding Susie, because of course it wouldn't be a Jar video if he didn't bring her up once. It's about her debacle with Dylan Thomas. Okay, first, no. We didn't go after Dylan because he disagreed with Susie. It was because he was badly defending you and cherry-picked pedantic examples to try and hide a grander scheme so you can still come across as the better person. Essentially, he was enabling you.
I'm not gonna sit here and deny that you're right, and that is a thing about Jar's video that bothers me, but in Jar's defense, the Neo did overreact to it, going as far as to call Dylan a traitor doodle and such. While I can see where Dylan was coming from, since he was afraid that by Doodle talking about Jar on a live stream, people would take notice and start holding up pitchforks to Jar over pointless and idiotic drama, again. On top of that, Dylan has some leeway here. I've mentioned this before, and I've even told Dylan about this as well, but if he tried to contact Doodle about what she had said in the stream, and waited to do a commentary on that segment for when she seemed to be evading him, I would have come some slack since he was pushed in the corner with no other way out. Surprise, surprise, he told me that's what he'd been trying to do and to get into contact with her, and as such, thought the only way to handle things was through a commentary he did.
Final point. You talk about the double standards of the community, how if you made a bunch of videos on us, it'd be considered reviving dead drama. Plenty of other people debunked this point for me in the comments section, so most I'll say is that that's not an argument. That's a deflection, or an appeal to hypocrisy.
Yeah, I looked through the comments section of that video and saw nothing of the sort. I saw some people pointing out different aspects of the video, but none really focused on this one. So this just comes off as irritating and unneeded. Do I agree with this point? No, but I don't feel like pointing it out. Why? Because that's not my job. That's yours, you lazy bastard. Anyways, after this, the video ends with his final thoughts, which are more applicable to his video rather than Jar's, so my final thoughts. Snake, you shouldn't have made this video. I've seen what you were like in your previous response to this exact video, and let me just say that the first one is better, solely because of how emotional you were. At least when you were in your emotional state of mind at the time of your video, it was entertaining to watch you stumble about and make an idiot of yourself. Yet in this one, it's more calm, but nothing else really changed. This video is rambling beyond belief, your points are just copy-pasted for the video, and it's overall not a very good response video at all. Now, do I think Jar's video is perfect? Oh, fuck no, I have a handful of problems with that video as well. But that doesn't mean the video you've made in response is any better. Well, now that that's done out of the way, let's see if I can achieve the mighty subscriber count of 500! Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe if you wish to see more, and if you really want to be nice, you can donate to my PayPal. For now, bye-bye.